Hey guys, how's it going? Hey Nate, how you feeling? Did you talk to Neil today? Did you tell him we're waiting for him to be YouTube famous? You should just yell at him and just tell him, look, next time I knock on your door, you need to be home. He'd probably apologize. Yeah, I don't know how many people are really going to come in just because it's Sunday. And I noticed that on Sundays, a lot of people, like YouTube's pretty quiet during the day. But I just figured I would hop on and see if anybody was on, what everybody was up to. No, you don't have to do that. I'm not going to make you go outside in your pajamas. Oh, wait, actually, I keep forgetting. So it's actually like dinner time where you're at then. That was funny though last night. Hey, Grandpa, how are you? What are you up to today? I'm having a relaxing, lazy Sunday. Hey, Patricia, how are you? Oh, is it really? So I guess well, you probably already ate dinner then. I'm doing good, Patricia. Thank you for asking. LeBain, how are you? We were talking about you last night. Were your ears ringing? I was telling your spider story. Somebody else was in here saying that they had gotten bit by a spider and they had to get antibiotics. So I was telling them what had happened with you. I had steak and kidney pudding with chips. Okay, I know chips is French fries. What is kidney pudding, Nate? Yeah, they were ringing. Well, good, because I was telling everybody, I was like, now I have a whole nother reason, thanks to her, to be scared of spiders. But yeah, she was saying that she had to have hers lanced and all that good stuff. So I was like, oh no. It just made me think of you. I'm drinking coffee and Luna is sitting next to me. Of course she's sitting next to you. She's your sidekick, right? But I think you wrote that because you knew I would ask about her. Steak and kidney in gravy. Like kidney, like as in animal kidney? And I don't know you mean sweet pudding? I don't know. I'm rereading that and I know we say things differently, so that's why I'm trying to. Oh no, Nate. You ate that? No. I couldn't do that. Sorry. I've never eaten lamb. I don't think I could, to be honest with you. So what do you mean by sweet pudding? That was what you had for dessert? I'm leaving Sunday for the Amazons and going in the jungle. There's spiders there with foot-long legs that eat birds. You're crazy, girl. There is no way. Nobody could pay me enough for that. No, that does not sound lovely, Nate. No, ma'am, it does not. Pudding is kind of like pie, but with a different pastry. So what kind of, what is it like filled with fruit? Yeah, take a few house bricks with you, LeBain, Nate says. Oh my God. There's no way. And whatever you do, don't watch Arachnophobia before you go. That movie is funny though, but still. You're a lot braver than I am. I could not do that. Hey, Putt Putt, how's it going? There's no way. We're Putt Putt. We're talking about LeBain is leaving Sunday for the Amazons, and she's going in the jungle where there's spiders with foot-long legs that eat birds. Oh, I got you. So it was like a pot pie, I guess what we call it like chicken pot pie. So it looks like an like a doesn't really look like an apple pie, but it's like similar, and then it's just stuffed with chicken and vegetables and gravy and stuff. So I think that's what you mean, right, Nate? We have what's called blood pudding. LeBain, do I want to know what that is? Is there spiders involved? I don't think I want to know if there's spiders involved. Nate's taking her Glock with her. Yeah, that does sound scary. I don't think I'd be able to venture into that. Nate wants LeBain to catch her a parrot and bring it home to her. Yeah, Nate wants to teach parrots dirty words. That's why. Hey, cutting board, how's it going? So what's everybody up to today? I'm surprised that we actually have 10 watching for a Sunday. I know most people just kind of chill and relax and spend time with family. No, Colleen, it's made with pig blood. What? Pig blood? Come on, what are you guys doing to me? You're talking about spiders eating birds and pig blood and whatever the heck Nate ate, a lamb's kidney or something. Come on, man. Abe has been very naughty today. He got out the cage. Did you ever tell Evil Abe that you named him that? And he acts just like him? How are you, cutting board? Black pudding. I've never heard of this, guys. Black pudding and pig blood pudding. What? Guys, I might have to rethink my friendship with you two. What the heck are you guys eating? I'm never coming to your house for dinner. LeBain, you are not going to toughen me up by making me eat pig blood pie or what did you say it was? I'm going back. I got to see this. It's made with pig blood pudding. No, who makes pudding with pig blood? What do you got going on, LeBain? I'm scared now. That reminds me, we're planning a homage to Carrie, and I need to make a ton of blood. That I can hear. That I can go along with, the cutting board. But not pig's blood in pudding. What are these girls doing to me? Grandpa, help me out. Nate says it's called black pudding. Just hide it and say, oh, it's a legacy here. Okay, you have to explain this. How is that even possible, LeBain? I don't understand this. How do you put pig's blood in pudding? And doesn't it just taste like you're eating a penny? You have it on a cooked English breakfast here. What? We also have original. Are you guys making things up to gross me out? We also have original blood boudin. What is that? LeBain, I'm never coming to your house for dinner. If I go to the Myrtles, I think I'm safer at Myrtles. You're going to try and feed me pig blood. The only thing I ate, if pig, were pig's feet. I never ate that either. What the heck's going on with you guys in the chat today? Grandpa, where are you? I need your help. Please tell me you don't eat blood pudding with real pigs. Come on, man. Stop. That is not true. Are you making this up? I need to Google this. Check DMs. Oh, God. You're not sending me a picture of some damn pig's blood or something, are you, Nate? What am I checking? I'm scared. What the heck is this? Black pudding is a type of blood sausage originating in Great Britain and Ireland. Come on, man. It is made from pork blood with pork fat or beef and a cereal. What? Using oatmeal? oat groats or what? Let me see this picture. That is disgusting. I'm sorry. I don't think I could eat that. I didn't expect it to look like that, though. Like, I was actually thinking pudding. Carlos, how are you? LeBain, Nate just sent me a picture of it. I was actually picturing pudding. So how is it? So there's really not blood in there? Oh yeah, it is made from pork blood. How is that even healthy? Doesn't that make you sick? You guys are like vampires. Grandpa says I have eaten bull's balls. Oh man, come on. You know what that reminds me of, Grandpa? Did you ever see the movie Funny Farm with Chevy Chase? When they go into the restaurant and they're eating, and I forget what they called it, but it ended up being like sheep balls or something, and he didn't realize it. No type of pork is good for your digestive system. Come on, man. I have pulled pork that I made to have for dinner. You guys are going to make me not want to eat it. Yeah, that was a good movie. What did they call that, Grandpa? Do you remember? Because I remember him sitting at the counter eating, and he spit it out because he was like, oh, there's a man who knows what he's got something good in his mouth. And then the waitress starts talking, and she's like, sheep's balls or something, but I can't remember what they called it in the movie to where he actually ordered it. It's a Cajun dish. They rarely make it the original way now. I don't know. I still don't know that I would try that. I'm sorry. Putt says the reason I only ate pig's feet was during a church lock-in, and the reason I ate them was so I could add points to our team. What is a church lock-in, Putt? Idiot abroad. Are you talking about me, Nate? Rocky Mountain oysters. No. What the heck did they call it in the movie? That's going to bother me now. I'm going to have to Google this. Cracklins are good too, but they stink like cooking. Okay, come on. LeBain, if I come to your house for dinner, could you just make me some like spaghetti? Does that contain animal blood, or do you put that in your spaghetti sauce? Like, you guys got me scared. I don't know what cracklins are, but I'm good with mac and cheese, LeBain. I'll take some mac and cheese. I'm actually Googling this right now. I'll cook you red beans and rice. I don't like where you said red beans. No red beans. Can you make it black beans? No, because then that reminds me of Nate's black pudding. I'll just take the rice, guys. I will take the rice. Gumbo, gumbo, gumbo. Hey, King Taco. Oh, Nate, I thought you were making fun of me. Oh, here it is. Okay, so it says, in the film Funny Farm, the main character, Andy Farmer, played by Chevy Chase, breaks a local record by eating 30 lamb fries, only to discover what they actually were and spit the 31st out in revulsion. Yeah, lamb fries. That's what it was called, Grandpa. Crackling is the fat on a pork that's cooked with salt on it till it's crispy. What? I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm from Jersey, but I've never heard any of this stuff. That's what cracklings are. So you just cut the fat off and cook it with salt, and it comes out like a chip? Is that what you're talking about? Never coming for dinner. Ever. I don't know. And I'd be afraid to invite you ladies over for dinner because I'd be afraid of what you would bring for dessert. They contain chunks of skin. Come on, man. What the heck? Can we just eat pasta? We just have a ladies' night with some pasta. Hey, Klotz, you've eaten what? A church lock-in was a high school lock-in where you stay in the church all night until morning. I think when this happened with my what? Why were you locked in? I don't understand. It's like a did you go to Catholic school or something? I'm not being funny. I went to Catholic school, so I never heard of that though. Yeah, LeBain, you and Nate, right? We'll all get together, have a girls' night. You guys do your cooking and all that stuff, and I will just eat my mac and cheese. Tripe. Who said anything about tripe? You have that third. I never heard of that. What does that do? Like what is the purpose of it? I'm not being funny. I went to Catholic school and I know that they had us do certain things, but I never heard of that. It's like a slumber party at the church. Oh, okay. Yeah, when he said lock in, I'm like thinking it was some kind of challenge or something. Lamb fries. That's what it was. Lamb fries. Hey, Kentucky girl, how's it going? You just missed an amazing conversation. We can have girls' night with LeBain and Nate, but they're going to be cooking some things that I don't know if you would even eat, Kentucky. Tripe is awful. It's the lining of a cow's stomach. You eat it raw. Okay, come on, man. It's like 12-hour shift at work. I think I'd rather do the 12-hour shift because I've done them before. Look up. I don't know if I want to look that up, LeBain. What are you girls doing to me? All right, looking it up now. Oh, God. Various kinds of sausage. Okay. I'm looking now. I see the picture. It looks like regular sausage. Let's see. It says it's also known as Cajun bites. Is that the right thing? Kentucky girl, you missed a lot. It's a regional specialty found only in southern Louisiana, made with pork, rice, seasonings, and various vegetables. So, I mean, I could do that if it's just the pork meat, right? Yeah, no, it's not nasty looking. I can see the sausage. It just looks like regular sausage. Yeah, I could do that. What was the other thing? Crackling. All right, I'm gonna look that up. Is that gross? Crackling. Oh, wait, I spelled it wrong. Hold on. Oh, of course I had to have pulled pork tonight for dinner. That's what's waiting for me. Oh, yeah. Cracklings. There we go. Yeah, LeBain, that I could do that. I'd probably just take the skin off though, like the casing. I'd probably just take that. So cracklings are pork rinds? Is that right? That's what's coming up when I type it in. Cracklings, I love those. Kentucky girl says. Yeah, I guess that's what it is. Pork rinds, right? Okay, I didn't know. All right. So Kentucky girl, you missed what is on the dinner menu tonight with LeBain and Nate. So apparently they like I don't even remember these names. I just remember some kind of pig blood, black pudding, pig blood pudding. Right? Am I getting that right? No, that wasn't as bad as I thought, LeBain. But the other stuff, I'm still gonna have to say no to. Okay, we're gonna have to say no to the pork blood, or yeah, the pig blood. Yeah, blood pudding, not doing it. Mm-mm. Kentucky Girl, have you ever heard of that? Come on, somebody in here's got to be on my side. What the heck? So are they like the pudding? I mean, it showed it sliced in circles, almost like a liverwurst. So is it soft though? Like, do you fry it up? How do you make it? Good. Kentucky Girl's on my side. Thank you. Blood pudding sounds gross. There we go. Another one. Yeah, balls, guts, and blood. I'm not, nope. Not doing that, Grandpa. Open your mind to no clots, no thank you. You should see how they do it in Africa. They shoot it with an arrow in the neck, the cow, then put a pan to collect it, then let it. Ew, are you serious? They eat blood clots? Come on, LeBain. Come on, girl. No thanks. Yeah, no. No clots. Clots, you can go to LeBain's house with Nate, eat all that kind of stuff. I could not do it. Couldn't. I'm sorry. I just couldn't. What was the thing? Not the cracklins. What was the other thing? Oh my God, you guys got my mind spinning. I don't even want to eat my pulled pork tonight. Damn you. Boudin, is that what it was? I'm probably saying that wrong. I'm not coming with you, clots. That's basically similar to blood pudding. We just add a few others. Ugh. Come on, man. But the boudin, it just looks like regular sausage that you would get at the store, like just the meat, right? You just add rice. I mean, that I can do. That's literally just like pork and rice. Me either, I'll pass. Yeah, Kentucky Girl, we'll go to Wendy's. Me and you, we'll get them spicy chicken sandwiches, and they can eat that. Hello, Mr. Greedy, how are you? It's nothing like sausage. It tastes different. Like the texture, you mean, or? Because I saw on there, like, some people put peppers and stuff like that with the rice. That's what it was saying online anyway. I would give you that. That I would probably try, but the other, nope, sorry. That sounds even better. I'm doing good, Mr. Grady. Thank you for asking. Yeah, LeBain, I can understand that. It probably has a lot more flavor. So what kind of spices do you put in it? I'm sure there's like a lot of seasoning that goes into it as well. I don't think so. Kentucky Girl hasn't. Nate, are you still in here? Have you tried that? Nate seems to have tried a lot of the stuff that LeBain was talking about. I don't know if she's still in here, though. Of course, I have it on top chat. I always forget to do that. Let me switch it here. I'm sorry if I missed anybody's comments. I accidentally had it on top chat. There we go. Kentucky Girl said, never heard of it. Nate LeBain was wondering if anybody had tried, I'm probably saying this wrong, Boudin or Bowden. I don't know if I'm saying that right. So Kentucky Girl, from what I gather, it's pork with rice and peppers and seasonings and stuff in the skin. Boudin. Oh, Buddha. Buddha? I'm still here listening, just ironing the kids' uniforms. Can you iron my stuff too, Nate? I'd appreciate it. Thank you. I'll send it right over. Honestly, though, I mean, Louisiana, I absolutely love the culture. I don't know how I would fare with the food just because I'm extremely, there you go, Nate's tried it. Just because I'm extremely picky with my food in general. Um, it's weird. Like, I just like bland food. But as far as the culture itself, I just find it so interesting. Grandpa says, I have had blood sausage. It was very rich alone. Too rich tasting for me. Really? Nate, you can iron. Yeah. Nate, Kentucky girl wants you to iron her shirts too. Nate said she thinks it's a French sausage. I'll do voodoo on it for you before you eat it, Colleen, okay? No, 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 no. No, ma'am. I'm not messing with that voodoo. I'm not messing with the hoodoo and all the other stuff. No. I like watching documentaries on it. I like watching the haunting kind of stuff and the, what are they called? Like the urban legend type things, all that good stuff. Don't be messing with my food, LeBain. Nate says, I hate ironing and I hate all laundry duties. I actually don't mind doing the laundry. I don't like putting it away. Folding it and putting it away or hanging it up, that I don't like. But sorting it and washing it, that doesn't bother me. I know you don't. I know you don't. Yeah, every time somebody talks about voodoo or hoodoo, I think about the Skeleton Key. No, not the skeleton. Yeah, was that the Skeleton Key, that movie? That was really good. I actually really like that movie. I love the old plantations with those the trees, like the long driveway. I just think that stuff is so beautiful. Yeah, I wouldn't mess with that. Nate wants to do a live Ouija board. You're crazy, girl. Skeleton Key, yeah. That had Goldie Hawn's daughter in it, right? I forget her name. She's so pretty. Yeah, I wouldn't mess with that, Nate. No, ma'am. That's not I don't think that's something to mess with. I don't know. I guess it all depends though, honestly. There's some people that believe and some people that don't. Yes, that's everywhere back here. Old swamps, bayous, and old plantations. Yeah, Labane, I just absolutely love that. I just think it's so beautiful. And I just have so much appreciation for the culture. I can just picture like, you know, back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, that way of living. It's just I just have so much respect for it. Nate says, I want to see if it's all bullshit. I'm doing a live spirit box. You're crazy, girl. There is no way. Because I know they say that if you do the Ouija board or spirit box, stuff like that, you can't control who comes through. And even if somebody does come through, that supposedly they could be lying. It's not, it doesn't necessarily mean it's the person you're trying to communicate with. I don't know. I wouldn't mess with it. But I do hear like on the shows and stuff when they do the ghost hunting that some of them will start with a prayer and close with a prayer. Supposedly, I guess that kind of keeps it in the circle. I don't know. Nate Labane says, don't mess with it. Nate says, I'm going to do a spirit box live in the cemetery. Oh, Lord, Nate. Did you fall off your rocker? Labane says it's a gateway. And Kentucky Girl says, I am not touching that thing. Oh, no. Yeah, I mean, I do believe in all of that stuff. And as far as the voodoo and the hoodoo and all, like, supposedly it doesn't work on the other person unless they believe. I don't know. That's what the basis was in the movie, but still, it's like, never had any experience with it, but I still wouldn't want to dabble in it, if that makes sense. But I do absolutely love the culture. I've watched so many documentaries, programs, history channels, all that stuff about the plantations and the way of life, and I just love it. I think it was the lack of oxygen. Mess my Girl, you can't blame that. I think you would have done that before. Are you crazy? Putt says, I've seen the videos. They are scary. I wouldn't touch that thing. I think Nate is too brave for her own good. LeBain says, we once tried to burn one after, and it wouldn't burn and burned bright blue. You know, I have heard that, and I've watched a couple shows. I think it was actually called A Haunting. It was the series where, and I think it was a woman in Pennsylvania bought an older home, and they tried to burn the Ouija board, and then it just wouldn't burn. So she threw it in the trash, and then she found it in the basement somehow after she had burned it and threw it out. Like, just all kinds of craziness. But I've actually heard, I don't know how true it is, but I have heard that you shouldn't burn the Ouija board once you're done with it, because it will actually get rid of that doorway, so that you're actually keeping whoever you brought here, because they can't go back through the same opening or portal or whatever you want to call it. And they say you should put it in water and submerge it. I don't know. Don't know if that's true, but yeah, I probably would have done, but lack of oxygen is my excuse. Nate, don't lie. You would have done it either way. LeBain says you got to literally anoint your home to get rid of evil spirits. Do you burn sage, LeBain? I've done that several times. Just for like cleansing space and all that good stuff. I've heard of people putting holy water on, what is it, like windowsills, archways, doorways, stuff like that, with, you know, obviously making the sign of the cross. Hey, John, how's it going? Anoint, 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 LeBain says. It's the living you should be afraid of, not the dead. I agree with you should be afraid of the living, but I do hear that being disrespectful to the dead and things like that can have some repercussions, we'll put it that way. LeBain says don't use holy water. You know, it's funny because I've heard of people using it, but then I've also heard people who have said they've had a priest come in to bless with holy water and it made it worse. Nate says, if you're supposed to pass it to someone, I'll pass it to you. Oh, thanks a lot, friend. I appreciate that. Jesus. You use olive oil that's blessed with a prayer. John Brooks says, I just smashed that like button. Thank you, John. I appreciate it. Olive oil is very old, and it's a sign of God's promise. John Brooks says, hey, Putt Putt King. You know, it's strange because there's so many conflicting opinions. I've realized that, LeBain, and I'm not saying you're right or wrong or anything, but like I'll watch one documentary and it'll say one thing, and then I'll watch another one and it'll be something completely different. It's almost like everything's still open to interpretation, if that makes sense, because some people will say, I tried XYZ and it worked, and then the next person will say, well, I tried it and it didn't, but ABC worked for me, you know? It's just so strange how many things are actually out there that people try. Does it make sense? Am I explaining that right? But I'm glad we're talking about this and not pig blood. We've kind of transitioned. No, I've done this for years. I've done it, watched it, seen the results, and Louisiana is a very old tradition. I will agree with you, LeBain. I think that Louisiana definitely knows their stuff. That's for sure. I actually watched a show, and I can't remember. Oh my gosh, I know the girl's name was Katrina. It wasn't Kindred Spirits. It was something else. I can't remember, but they did a show where they were investigating an apartment over top of a voodoo store in Louisiana. And you might have heard this story. It's supposedly well known there, where it was a guy and a girl living there together. They were dating or whatever, and he murdered her and chopped her up and left her in the tub, and then put her head in the stove or something, like some awful, awful crime. But supposedly the voodoo store ended up closing down because the building just became obnoxiously haunted. Did you hear about that? Supposedly it was, on the news and all that kind of stuff. I think sage is good too, but without God's oil, you're only achieving half the job. I've heard salt too. I've heard of using salt, like making perimeters kind of and stuff like that. Putting salt around your property lines, your thresholds, stuff like that. I've heard a lot of different things. A lot of people do. What? Are you serious? That's horrible. Was that like willingly? I don't know how I really don't know how any of that works, LeBain. I mean, like some of the documentaries I've seen that it can be um, violent at times, but I also saw a lot of poisonings in the documentaries. Oh wow, I'm so sorry to hear that. That's horrible. That is so sad. Wow. So that is that almost like a sacrifice or something? I hate to even ask because, like I said, I don't know how that works, but that's absolutely horrible. That poor girl. I can only imagine how she felt. They were crazy about voodoo back then. Wow. That's so sad. It's not like that too much anymore. So, since it's transitioned, what is it like now? I mean, what's other than the violence, what is the purpose to it? Only secretly. Like what do they achieve from it, I guess? I'm just not really familiar. Like I've seen documentaries of um people poisoning people for they disrespected them or something like that to take their life, and um different rituals like around a fire or bonfire. All right, Kentucky girl, we're not scaring you away, are we? I hope not. Grandpa got quiet. We stopped talking about food. Grandpa, are we scaring you? I still can't believe that about your cousin. That is so sad. LeBain says, I don't mess with it. I have no idea. I was raised not to mess with it. My cousins used to mess with it, and I seen some crazy. Yeah, I don't blame you. Like I said, I mean, all I know is what I saw in the documentaries, but I don't really understand it. But that's so sad, though. And I'm sure you have seen some crazy stuff. But when we were talking about the Myrtles, you were saying that it had been really haunted. I can't remember. Did you say that you were there, LeBain? You ever went there or no? Oh, your neighbor was big into it. She was crazy. That's really scary. I guess you stayed away from her then. And I'm sorry, my beagle is laying next to my laptop, snoring her butt off, if you guys can hear that. What about you, Putt Putt? Are you into that kind of stuff? The horror and ghosts and haunting and all that good stuff? Of course, I stayed away. Yeah, I can imagine. Luna just farted. Grandpa's because she was thinking all that gross food. And I don't mean to offend anybody when I say that. I think everything is gross. I don't eat fish. I think it's disgusting. So I'm not saying anything personal against anybody's taste. I am the pickiest eater probably in the entire world. Everybody says when I go out to eat, I'm the biggest pain in the ass. So please don't take it personal. Watch the documentaries on the ancient Ram Inn in England. It's a freaky place to be. Oh, really? I'll have to check that out. What is it on YouTube or Netflix or something, Nate? And for being the pickiest eater, literally, I mean, I will go, people that like seafood, I will go and just order chicken fingers. I just, I am like the world's blandest eater. I don't know. YouTube. All right, I'll check it out. My daughter went to Myrtle once and came back with crazy things happening. Oh, wow. You had to anoint your house? Are you serious? Now, the story with the Myrtles is somebody, the guy that used to live there was shot on the stairwell or something. I know there's been a lot of ghost hunters, like on TV and just in general, that have gone there to investigate. Do you believe in that stuff, Grandpa? How about you, Papa? Now there's a bridge right down the road called Ghost Bridge. Look it up, West Carroll Parish. I remember you talking about that in the last stream, Ghost Bridge. You said things always happen there. Yeah, you always have something happen when you go. Yep, I remember you talking about that. It's been on really. So how far are you from the Myrtles plantation then, LeBain? Oh, we were also talking about your soap too. That's probably why your ears were ringing. Aside from your spider bite, Ability was in here when we were talking, and I was asking her about your soap, and she was talking about the charcoal soap. So she had passed your info on to someone else that was in the chat as well. So you were quite the topic of conversation. No wonder your ears were ringing. It was all good though. We love LeBain. We were just talking about her soaps and her spider bites. Years ago, a girl and two boys wrecked there. The boys are at peace with the girl. She's really. Welcome back, Kentucky girl. Huh. That's sad. That's really sad. Oh, now my dog's dreaming, so sorry about that. I was like, what the heck is she doing? Let me turn this off a second. Might make it a little bit easier to hear. I have the fan on for the dog, guys, so hold on one second. There we go. Maybe that's better. You won't have that annoying noise in the background. Now you just get to hear my annoying voice, guys. I have someone or something in my house. I think it's my son's mother. Really, Grandpa? What happens in your house? My good friend was a trooper at the time and worked the scene. She was found hanged. Oh, wow. So she was thrown, like, obviously thrown from the vehicle then? Oh, yeah, that's another thing, putt-putt. So she I don't know if she was thrown from it and was in the tree or she committed suicide. Oh, she was thrown from the vehicle, okay. Nate, I think everybody thinks their own noise is annoying. Yeah, that's scary. There's a lot of, haunted roads and stuff like that from car accidents, and honestly, I don't wanna say it never bothered me because I was always really into it, but when my sister was killed last year in a car accident, then it took on, like, a whole new meaning. You know what I mean? Like, I was always into it before, and I was just like, "Oh, wow," I would hope to see this person or if something happens, but then now being on the other side of it, it's like, I hope she's not there. Does that make sense? I kinda see it from a different point of view now. I've seen her and she's also answered me on recording while they're at the bridge. Really? So what are they saying she's so mad about? Putt Putt King says, "I think my voice can also be annoying." Yeah, I think everybody thinks that their own voice is annoying. It's funny because when I first started streaming, I had people say to me, "Oh, your voice sounds so calming. You should try to do you ever sing?" I'm like, "First of all, I'm from Jersey. I talk very loud. There's nothing calming about my voice. If anything, it's scary. And number two, if I sang, you guys would run." But I think it's just I think we all think that of ourselves, but I know with mine it's true. The boys were messing with her while she was driving. Oh, wow, that's why she wrecked. Wow, that's a shame. That's what the word is. Hey, Captain Awesome, how are you? Yeah, that's a shame. I like I said, I just kinda I see it from a whole different point now, and, like, everybody always hears these urban legends or these quote unquote haunted roads because of accidents and stuff, and then I never really thought about the families of those people, you know? Good, just having some chicken noodle soup. Are you sick, Captain Awesome? Grandpa says, talking upstairs, running on the floor, whistling, and while someone else was here, scared them. I can imagine that would be quite scary, Grandpa. Yeah, I don't blame them for getting scared. Captain Awesome says, I think there's a haunted road in Florida. I think it's a part of the highway. And no, not sick. Hey, James Ward, how's it going? Yeah, there's a lot of haunted roads. Supposedly, in New Jersey, there's a highway. It's called Route 55. And you guys can look it up, but it was supposedly, I can't remember the year it was built, but apparently when they built it, it was built on top of Indian burial ground. And there's been so many accidents on that road and so many strange things happening that, people are saying that that road should have never been put there on top of that ground. I'm doing good, James. How are you? I have a couple friends. They say when we went over a dip where she died, she claims she sees her and tell me to go faster until we're far away enough away from her. It's hard, like certain things, I think when things get passed down generation to generation, it's almost like that game Whisper Down the Lane. Some things get added or removed and you never really know with an older urban legend what's fact and what isn't. But then it's like if you see something for yourself, then obviously you believe. Kentucky girl, what's your haunted experiences? Everybody's sharing. What do you got for us? Thanks for coming in, James. I appreciate it. I wouldn't mess with Indian grounds. It's crazy how real things get when things are built on it. I know. And what's weird is my aunt actually, um, there was a new development being put in, and it was kind of out in the country. And they had built a model house, just one house, so that everybody could see what the houses would be like, and they could pick certain things and upgrades and all that good stuff. So it was a street of maybe a dozen houses that were going to be on there. It was a cul-de-sac. And the houses were all built by the time she was thinking of building. So her and her husband actually ended up buying the model instead of having it built. They were going to build their own, but they really wanted to be in that section. So they decided just to do that. And long story short, their house ended up catching fire and burning down. And they said it was electrical with wiring, but none of the other houses on the street had that issue. But every single house had an issue with, they were literally all claiming that they were having weird things going on in their house. Well, there's an Indian burial ground literally right next to where that was built. So once everything started happening and neighbors were talking, they actually thought that there was more Indians possibly buried where the guy built the houses, whether it was unmarked graves, not saying it was intentional, but so yeah, ever since then, that's always been like, don't mess with Indian grounds, and that's a big no-no. My friend did say when the girl did die, it was raining. We have very famous Indian grounds about 12 miles down the road. Famous archaeologists come here from all the, really? I don't want to get into like religion and all that stuff, but I have a lot of respect for the Indian culture. They're just so, in tune with nature, and I just think it's amazing. Did you hear about the hotel across where the old Twin Towers used to be? No, Captain Awesome, I didn't hear about it. What's going on with it? Kentucky Girl said, when I lived with my dad before he passed, and 5 months after my mom passed, I sat in the living room and all of a sudden the TV went off like twice. Really? My grandma was full blood Indian. That's awesome. If I get this right, my dad's cousin's grandmother, so I have no idea what she would be to me, was full blood Indian. Yeah, so I don't know what that would make her to me, but if anything. But yeah, to be like so in tune with nature and stuff, I think it's fascinating. I really do. I mean, there's a lot to be said for certain beliefs and things like that. And I respect everybody's belief, I just for me that culture is just I just find it fascinating. I really do. Yep, it also changed channels and I didn't touch the remote either. Wow, that's crazy. Does that explain my high cheekbones? It's funny. I was just having this conversation the other day with somebody. I don't look like either one of my parents at all. So I would always joke like, am I like from the milkman or something? Like just being funny. But my uncle, who is my mom's half brother, he wasn't that much older than me because my mom is one of seven and me and him look like twins. It's crazy how much we look alike. So it's just weird how those genes work, right, LeBain? Nate says, my grand died in March this year, and I keep asking her to do something so I know she's there, but nothing. Well, I'm sorry you lost your grand, Nate. Were you guys close? Supposedly, after they went down, they got a crap ton of calls to the lobby from people saying they are seeing people looking in the windows with their hands pressed against the glass from the outside. Really? LeBain says, I have a story. Grandpa says, I never met my mom. LeBain says, after my brother passed, his phone called me about 2 to 3 weeks after. I heard breathing, but no answer. Oh, wow. Was his number disconnected at the time, or was it already assigned to somebody else? My sister's number actually is still, even though it's been a year, it's still not turned off. Yeah, she brought me up from being Oh, Nate, I'm sorry, that must have been so hard for you. People do say my son looks just like me. It's strange how genes work, like, it was my like, he's since passed away, but he was awesome. But, it's just funny how genes work, like, I don't look like my parents, but I look like my mom's half brother. When you think about it, he's got a whole 'nother side, like, of his other parents' family that's not related to my mom or anybody, but yet me and him look so much alike. Captain Awesome says, I was going through a very bad time and I woke up to a voice saying, Hey, smart one, it will be all right. Really? No, it was off. Wow. That's crazy. Hey, World Supporter, thanks for checking in. I appreciate it. I had to pay for my brother's funeral and bury him. I don't talk to my. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, LeBain. I actually not too long ago went to my uncle's grave to clean the headstone and stuff. But it's hard, like he was closer in age to me than he was to my mom because like I said, my mom was one of seven, so there's a lot of age gaps. So it was almost like, more of a brother sister kind of thing because it's not like, when somebody's closer to your age, you don't generally when you talk to them like, hey, Uncle so and so. But no, it's hard, definitely losing somebody, and then my sister passed and it's just been crazy. She was cremated and they're gonna be spreading her ashes, so it's just it's hard to lose somebody. So I definitely feel for you, LeBain, and when there's family drama or drama in general with anybody, when that's going on, it really sometimes it brings out the worst in people, I think. It's sad, but then sometimes you really see people's true colors when things like that go on. Thanks, World Supporter. So, yeah, I mean, I absolutely know what it feels like to lose somebody, and it really sucks. My brother was my hero, my only sibling. He was like my dad. He protected me a lot from my parents. We used to Aw, LeBain, I'm so sorry to hear that. But you know what? Just because he's not physically here, I bet you he's still protecting you wherever he is. Captain Awesome says, after my grandma passed away late at night, around 5 in the morning, I was watching TV and my hand was resting on my laptop, and from the corner of my eye, I saw a hand on top of my. Really? Wow, were you guys close? I've had a lot of dreams about my uncle, a lot, and a lot of dreams about my sister. That's awesome, LeBain. And I'm sure that's a sense of comfort for you too. I'm sure it really is. I wish there was more that like, I could know about certain things, but certain things I don't really want to know, you know, if that makes sense. My grandma and my mom's stepdad, I was extremely, extremely close to. Yeah, that's really hard. I'm sorry for your loss. But I mean, I certainly believe that we're all like some form of energy, that once you die and you pass on, you're still there somewhere. I just don't know where. When they visit you in your dream, they're really visiting. You're at a stage where you're unconscious and open. Yeah, I mean, some of the things that I've dreamt about were pretty spot on, you know. Um and it's weird. I have this literally the only recurring dream that I've had for a long time is my grandmother telling me to get the small jukebox out of the attic of her house. But there is nothing there. It's just the craziest thing. So I have no idea what that means, but there is nothing there. Like a little like in my dream it's like this little jukebox slash antique kind of radio, but there's nothing there. So my brother gave me a farewell visit once and aw, LeBain, that's awesome. Another weird thing that happened was after my dog passed, and this is weird. I grabbed a water bottle to drink out of it and saw her reflection in the water. I threw the bottle across the room. Really? Wow. That's crazy. LeBain says, "Don't be scared." I remember the farmhouse that I used to have. It's probably about maybe 5 years ago, and I don't really talk about it much because there was just a lot of a lot of weird things going on and stuff like that. But I had told my dad, and my dad's like, "Yeah, right, whatever." So my dad had come over to visit one time, and we were watching TV, and it was hardwood floors, and you could literally hear the floor creaking as if somebody was walking. And he just looked at me white as a ghost, and I just shrugged my shoulders and laughed. I was like, "I told you." He was like, "I'm out of here." I physically seen my brother too once after he passed. Really? I'm used to seeing things like this. It just surprised me, kind of shocked. Yeah, I'm sure it did. But yeah, I mean, some of the dreams are quite powerful, and then some of them are just painful. Like I woke up the other day, I had a dream about my sister, and I remember waking up and being like, "Oh, I have to text her and tell her." And then that pain just sets in, like, she's not here. You know what I Nate says, "You know what? I don't know why, but I'm getting proper pissed off with ironing. I mean, proper angry, but I don't know why." I used to have EVP videos on my channel, good ones too, but I deleted them. How come you deleted them? They can also portray themselves through others very spontaneously and quickly. See, that's the thing, honestly, that I find scary because there's so many so many things that have been proven and so many things that have been suggested where spirits will come through and you think it's who you're trying to communicate with and it's really not. So it's kind of like, how do you really know? You know what I mean? I film myself walking down the hallway at my house at 4 in the morning and hear two voices. The first voice said, "What's he doing?" And the second voice said, "Don't ask." Oh, wow. Why did you delete them though? Nate, if it makes you feel better, I don't like to iron either. And you're more than welcome to do my ironing for me. I mean, there's no sense in both of us being mad, right? You can do it. You can do it all. Oh my goodness, guys. Lazy Sunday. I have no plans to do anything today. Maybe watch some horror movies, cuddle with the dogs. That's about it. Captain Awesome says, "Our house began to get active after I kept." Oh, wow. I know you will probably call me crazy, but I see things every so often and feel things. Maybe I don't think you're crazy, Labane. I believe in all that. Very much so. Very much. Nate says someone's gonna lose an eyeball in a minute. Well, you better go find Neil because I'm not losing an eyeball because you're mad about laundry, Nate. You better call Neil. Get with him on that. You know, it's funny. There's so many different like people believe in astrological signs and palm readings, and there's just so much, intuition and dreams and yeah, it just there's so much that it just makes me think that there's got to be more out there than just one, lights out type of thing, if that makes sense. Captain Awesome says, I started to see orbs flying around my room without even recording them, and a couple toys turned on by themselves, and I think it's oh wow. Yeah, that's a lot of activity. Uh-oh, Nate's getting violent now. Did Neil know you were in the hospital, Nate? Did he come to see you after you came home? LeBain says, I've seen some gory things. Spirits still sometimes look exactly the way they died, blood, etc. on them. Oh, wow. They can also change ages. I've heard that they'll present themselves like how they want you to view them. So, in other words, if somebody died horrifically and was disfigured, if they want you to know that, they will show you that. Or if they just want you to remember them how they were, then they'll come to you how you remember them type thing. They can be their young self or older. Yeah. The creepiest thing I've heard doing EVP was in my kitchen. What happened in your kitchen, Captain Awesome? Or saddest thing, I guess. Uh-oh. We don't like sad. Now you guys got me wanting to watch some horror stuff. There was a channel. I don't know if it's just in the US or not, but it's a channel called Destination America, and they used to have a haunting and kindred spirits, my haunted house, all like paranormal survivor, all kinds of haunted things. And lately they haven't been having any of it. I don't know what's going on with that because I used to literally like binge watch it. Neil asked why the ambulance was outside my house, so I told him his reply was, "Yeah, I thought I hadn't seen you in a while." Oh, that's right. You did say that, Nate. You did say that. I'm sorry. They sometimes are trapped if they were a bad person trapped to be shown how they died. If someone still living is a bad person, say a murderer, whoever killed them will follow them. Really? I just recorded myself walking around and I played it back and you could hear a little boy or girl ask where's home. Oh, that's really sad. Yeah, I don't like to hear about stuff like that. That's sad. So, when it comes to kids, that's really sad. Labane, I've actually been reading a book. Do you know, what's her last name? Kim, can't think of her last name, and I'm reading the book. It's so sad. She did The Haunting of on Lifetime Movie Network. She's a psychic. She was on a couple different shows. But I've been reading her book, and she talks about some things like opening yourself up. Like, it's not just about her life or her biography in general. It's just there's a lot of different things, and she talks about, you know, how to's and stuff like that. I'll have to look it up, and I'll oh, what the heck is her name? Kim, can't think of it. But I will the book's in the other room. I'll let you know though. Sometimes Luna sits and stares at the steps going downstairs. Really? The same kid said something when I asked if my grandma was in my room early in the morning, and you could hear her. I don't know. Aw. That's it. That's what she talks about in the book, seeing people's auras and the the color. Hold on. I'm actually going to look this up now so I can share it in the chat so you can check it out. Man, I'm in the middle of reading it. What the heck is her name? Kim Russo. Let me see if I can get the link to her book. Because she is, I really like her. Here it is right here. Kim Russo, The Happy Medium. All right, I'm going to put this in the chat so you can check it out if you want. Children and animals are what I call innocent. They see things most adults can't see. Yeah, I've heard that before. Like they haven't really grown into form their own, like with kids, they haven't really grown to form their own opinions or been influenced by the outside world. She talks about that in her book too. People are energy trapped in a body. That's all we are. Souls. Yep. Yeah, everything like she touches on so much. You know, a lot of books that people quote unquote psychics um they just talk about themselves in the book, which is fine. I mean, that's what their book's supposed to be about, right? Or their life experience. But it's almost like she just explained everything. She talks about chakras and all that stuff. It's just it's a really good book. When I was little, several times my mom asked me who I was talking to when I told her I was playing with the little boy. Oh wow, do you remember that? Or is that something that she told you? When you see a bright red aura, that means mostly someone is mad. She talks about seeing them, but I don't really know, like I haven't gotten that far. I mean, I guess I'm like halfway through the book, but I think in the book she delves into it a little bit further in the book, but I don't really understand how to actually see them. Oh, your mom told you about it? Yeah, it's hard to remember some things when you're little. I glow maroon, which is motherly. Huh. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, but I mean, if you're into that kind of reading, I would recommend her book, LaBaine. It's really good so far. I haven't finished it, but it's really good. I actually had a reading done by Chip Coffey. Do you guys know who that is? Royal purple mostly means someone who sees a lot, almost psychic. Can you see them in pictures or just in person, LaBaine? I know that some people can read pictures or like put a picture in between their hands or an object and get like impressions. Mostly in person. Okay. I saw someone staring at me at night when I woke up once. It freaked me out. Yeah, I could see that freaking you out. I think that's understandable, Captain Awesome. Turned on the light and whoever it was disappeared. Yeah, that would be pretty creepy. Especially if you think it's an actual real person in your room, like somebody that broke in, right? Oh my goodness. So, Bane, when are you going live again? I know Grandpa is planning on going live on Tuesday. Anybody else? Everyone only uses like what 10% of their brain. I know, right? I think it would be awesome if we all had telekinesis and all that good stuff. That would be amazing. Are you doing anything special for Halloween, LaBaine? I would imagine that people do a lot in Louisiana around then. What is Luna going to be for Halloween, Grandpa? Is she going to get dressed up? I once seen a boy in his kitchen at his house pick up his fork without touching it. Wow, really? That's awesome. That's crazy. My giveaway live is Wednesday. Awesome. I clicked your bell, so I'll get the notification. Luna will be live on Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. I'm doing nothing for Halloween. I don't celebrate it really. I love Halloween. Honestly, I just love horror movies, and they're always on the month of Halloween, so that's probably why. But I'm actually I know Luna is so cute. I actually dressed up my chihuahua one time. He was pissed. He was like, "Don't ever do that to me again." He was not happy. But he was like a little devil. It was cute though. But he didn't like it. He didn't appreciate it too much. So then I had it was like Petco or PetSmart. They were doing free Halloween pictures. So I took him and I put a little bow tie on him. It was like a little bat. It was cute. That he didn't mind because it was like, just wearing another collar, so he was fine with it. But you hate Halloween. You live in Louisiana. How can you hate Halloween? Oh, LaBane, I'm so disappointed in you. I thought we were getting somewhere, girl. No, I'm not into trick-or-treating or any of that. I just love horror. So that's kind of but I don't decorate my house for Halloween. Like I'll decorate it for fall. I might have a witch or something up, but I don't go all out, for Halloween. It's mostly just fall decorations and wreaths, pumpkins, stuff like that. It's not scary, kind of things, but my chihuahua was looking at me like, "Who are you talking to?" Oh my goodness. I live down a dead end. No one visits. I live in the middle of farmland. You know what? Honestly, though, that's the best way. Come here. You coming out? Come on. You can't see anybody. I'm not talking to anybody that you can see. He's looking like, who is that? That means not a lot of traffic, so that's a good thing. You don't have people whizzing up and down the road, flying in their cars. That's good. But I have actually been on here for over an hour now, so I am actually going to head off and get something to eat. So thank you guys for joining me and chatting with me on this lazy Sunday that I'm having. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Finish off the weekend fun. Everybody be safe. Be good. I have a little tiny kitten now I found under my house. Aw, that's so cute. I love kittens. They're adorable. What color is it? I want an all gray cat so I can name it Church, like the cat on Pet Sematary. Yep, gotta go bottle feed. Yeah, that's awesome. That is one lucky kitten. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you all later. You have a great day too, Grandpa. It's white. Oh, so cute. All right, you guys, take care. Much love.